We were sitting in that ridiculously overpriced restaurant she'd picked. White tablecloths everywhere. Fake smiles served alongside the entrees. Her friends were the loud-laughing, never-an-empty-glass type. I was squeezed into the corner of the booth, like some awkward extra in a scene I didn't audition for. Then I heard from her. "He's great with kids, but he's not a real man." I didn't flinch, didn't blink, just took a slow sip of water, letting her words sear their way down like cheap bourbon. She laughed after she said it. That kind of laugh people use when they pretend they're joking. But every syllable is a loaded truth. Her friends laughed too. I took a mental snapshot of each smirking face. No comeback, no scene. I just picked up the check, tossed down my card, and left. Behind me, the table was still cackling like some bad sitcom. Then the matte black Escalade slid to the curb, and the second she saw who was driving, her smug little smile twitched. My sister, tatted, hard-eyed, built like steel and silence, Marine Recon, the kind of woman who doesn't repeat herself. She nodded. I climbed in. Just before the tinted window swallowed me up, I caught it. My wife's grin folding in on itself like a house of cards. My wife and I used to have a strong relationship. She used to like my calm poise. The way I sat with our boy during every nightmare, talking quietly and not waking up. The dinners I cooked when she worked late. I built the crib from scratch, without instructions, without outside help. But somewhere along the way, appreciation turned into disdain. When I took paternity leave, she told her friends I was nesting, like I was playing house. When I chose piano recitals over poker nights, she gave me that sideways look, like I'd laid down my masculinity at the door. She didn't want calm. She wanted command. A husband who barked, interrupted waiters, slammed every door behind him. She wanted me to be like her father. I wasn't him. Thank God for that. Still, I held on too long. Loved her harder than I should have, long after the wheels were already off. It wasn't her words that broke something in me. Not really. It was that one ping, a message I wasn't supposed to see, sitting there like a crack in the foundation. Group chat. One line. He cries at Pixar movies. Literally, I married a glorified babysitter. That one stung in a quiet, lingering way. I didn't storm in, didn't ask questions. Just let it sit. 2 weeks. Watching. I watched the way she shut me down mid-sentence when I offered up ideas. The way her eyes sparkled for strangers. The barista, the new realtor, even our kid's pediatrician. Always just enough to flirt, never enough to call out. I noticed how she sighed, subtle and sharp, whenever I held our son a little too long for her liking. So I started pulling back. Not with drama, just a quiet step back into the shadows of my own life. No shouting matches, no tears, just distance. She didn't notice. People like her rarely do. Not until the silence hums louder than any fight. I locked down my finances, opened a second phone line, kept receipts, not the kind that go in wallets, the kind that get you custody. Recorded every offhand jab, every time she mocked me in front of our boy. Every little, "you're too soft," like it was a diagnosis. Then I found a lawyer. Cool-headed, razor-sharp woman who didn't flinch at the details. No nonsense. We started building. Screenshots, account records, therapy notes that laid out the emotional landmines. No guesswork, just facts. Then came the nanny cam, tucked into a nursery shelf. Not for my son, for her. Took about a month. One night, after I'd kissed our kid goodnight, I watched the playback. She stumbled in with some coworker, shirt halfway undone, him reeking of booze. She read a bedtime story with lipstick on her collar and breath like a bar tab. I didn't say a word. Instead, I started cooking dinner for two again. Held her hand at the grocery store. Smiled like we were okay. Like I was back. But I wasn't. She thought I'd moved on. She was half right. I had. Just not in the way she imagined. Dinner with her friends was the last trial, and I knew it. I knew she'd go for blood. She always did when they circled up around her like some pack of laughing jackals. But this time, I wanted them to hear it. I needed witnesses, people to see the mask slip, and she didn't disappoint. Not a real man, she said. That was the moment. I stood up, calm, paid the check, left her sitting there, drowning in the silence she'd earned. That's when the Escalade slid in, right on cue, and just like that, the cracks in her world began to spider out. She came home to a hollowed-out version of her life. The closet was stripped clean. I'd taken my clothes, my journals, our son's first drawings, the pieces of meaning, left her the decor, the bones. She called 20 times. I picked up on the 21st. Where are you? Somewhere quiet. You took him. He asked to come. Her voice went nuclear. Rage, insults, threats. Said she'd take me to court, make me pay. I told her to check. Waiting there was the full dossier. Custody petition, time-stamped footage, saved messages, a witness list that included teachers, neighbors, even our couples therapist. And the kicker? An attached letter of resignation from her boss, the same one who spent more nights in our house than she thought I knew about. The evidence, dates, locations, even a camera angle she hadn't noticed. She unraveled in court, tried to sob, to paint herself as the wounded one. Said I'd always been distant, cold, manipulative. But the judge wasn't swayed. He watched the clips, listened to the recordings, read the messages in that dry, surgical courtroom voice that cuts worse than yelling ever could. When the gavel finally came down, sole custody awarded to me, house signed over, alimony denied. She didn't scream, didn't speak, just sat there, face streaked with mascara, breathing like it hurt. And for once, I didn't feel sorry. Not even a little. The victory wasn't loud. It unfolded in small, steady ways. No gloating, no parades. I just moved back into the house, repainted the walls, and built my son a sturdier bookshelf, one that wouldn't tip when he climbed it to reach his bedtime stories. She bounced around for a while, her sister's place, then somewhere else, then finally into a cramped one-bedroom she couldn't really swing without that job title she'd lost. Word traveled. Mutual friends said she's been quieter lately. Dimmed. Meanwhile, I've grown louder, but only in the places it counts. My son sleeps sound now, eats like he means it, smiles without prompting. And sometimes, out of the blue, when we're strolling through the park and he wraps his arms around me like I'm still his whole world, I think, this. This is the payoff. This is peace. And it didn't cost a war. I never raised my voice. Didn't need to. I watched, took notes, waited. And when the moment came, I stepped aside and let her do the talking. The world listened, and then, so did I. Turns out, silence isn't surrender. It's strategy.